NATO tonight sending a message to Vladimir Putin, holding the largest military exercise in more than a decade. More than 36,000 NATO troops participating in the drills, those drills being held in Italy, Spain, and Portugal. The exercise comes as NATO's Secretary General today warned that Russia's military buildup from the Baltic Sea to the Mediterranean could limit the access of the United States and our allies to certain regions. And joining us tonight to discuss that and much more, the president of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, Clifford May. Cliff, good to have you here.
Thanks, Lou.
This is, at least it is at the beginning of a cooperative effort by NATO in some size, 36,000 people, but it's been a long time coming. What does it suggest?
Well, it suggests that NATO is trying to demonstrate something to Putin. Now, I think Putin is well aware of NATO's capabilities. More in question are NATO's intentions and NATO's determination and NATO's will. And I think those may be tested by Putin. I think he is clearly thinking about that. And the way he would do that, if he really wanted to, would be to look to Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and perhaps decide to do the same kind of thing that he's done in Georgia and Ukraine. What's the difference? Those are members of NATO. Those are members of the EU. If he were to invade, say, Estonia, would the U.S., would Germany, would Turkey
what do you think?
Send troops to fight him?
What do you think?
Well, I think his gamble would be that, no, that NATO would fall apart and NATO would collapse, that Turkey certainly wouldn't, and that Germany and France probably wouldn't either, and the U.S. might not have the leadership to actually go in there and push him out of a place like Estonia. Now, he hasn't tried that yet, but I think that's the kind of contingency one needs to think about and plan for, and the U.S. better have a policy, and it needs to be a good one. Europe is in very precarious position for a lot of reasons. That could be the thing that really pushes it over the line.
Yeah, and turning now to Iran in the Middle East. I mean, they continue to carry out cyber assaults on the White House, for crying out loud. They are demonstrating absolute disdain and a lack of even minor respect for this president and his administration.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And those who have been critical of this administration, President Obama's deal with Iran, I think are being proven right. President Obama and his supporters said after this deal, Iran will want to cooperate with us. We'll have a detente, a rapprochement. On the contrary, the hardliners are even more hardline now. We are being attacked in other ways, such as cyber. The supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, is essentially reinterpreting the agreement in other ways and saying, here's how I read it, and you better come along as well, and making it a worse document. Well, and we are in the process of both funding and arming Iran, which is the leading terrorist sponsor in the world, which insists on hegemony in the Middle East.
Yeah, but all of that's fine, Cliff. The fact of the matter is Congress can't do anything about it. The Senate can't do anything about it. This president's in office for another 14 months. 440 days, thereabouts. I mean, we look utterly impotent in the face of his will and that of the supreme leader.
Yes, and so a great deal of damage has been done and will be done over the months ahead to the United States and to its credibility, certainly to the people of Syria and Iraq. We have literally millions of refugees now. About 250,000 people have been killed. The next president will have a great deal of repair work to do, I would say.
Why is the Republican leadership not focusing on the fact that this president's intervention into Libya, its policies toward and often passivity in the face of the president that they insist must go 4 years ago, they started that insistence. I mean, this administration has this humanitarian disaster absolutely around its neck.
I think one of the things we need to be thinking about, and the next president needs to be thinking about, is rebalancing power. If this were a Republican president,
there won't be a next president that has to rethink if people in the Republican Party don't have the guts and the intellect and the will to sit here and hold him accountable. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong, but I think that you're also correct that Congress needs to play the role it had constitutionally and historically. Congress has given up power over the years because congressmen didn't want to take hard votes, because they'd rather leave it to the president for whatever reason. But Congress has a role to play. I don't think Congress has played it effectively in recent years in foreign policy and many other things. It's not. And it becomes an imperial presidency, and I don't think we should want that. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you don't want an imperial presidency, a supreme leader, essentially, running the country.
But it's what we've had for 40 years now, thanks to the shared values of both parties on the issue of the power of the presidency. It's got to be rolled back. I couldn't agree with you more. Clifford May, always good to have you here.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.